This is Alan Ball.
Hi, this is Audrey Fisher.
This is Jim Perry.
Hi, this is Kristen Bauer.
Hi, this is Alexander Skarsgård.
This is Nelson Ellis.
Hi, this is Johnny Neal.
This is Rayo Tucker.
Hi, this is Lindsay Pulsifer.
Hi, this is Ryan Quanton from True Blood.
Hello, this is Theo Alexander.
Hey, this is Lauren Bowles.
Hi, this is David Tishman.
This is Chase Everett.
Hello, this is Janina Gavankar.
This is James Frayne.
Hi, this is Courtney Ford, and you're listening to True Blood Radio.
Hi, this is Liz and Mel with True-Blood.net, and in this week's news, Alexander Skarsgård clears the air, True Blood premiere packs a punch, and the spoiler that rocked Truies last week. We've got it all for you right here. This is, of course, we have the episode discussion. This week's episode, Authority Always Wins. We're going to talk about that in a little bit here. This is podcast number 180 for the week of June 17th, and happy Father's Day to all you dads out there.
That's right, happy Father's Day, and you know, True Blood has quite a few fathers of various kinds, and I asked you guys out on Twitter who your favorite father figure was. I think Eric so far is the winner. He and Pam, their relationship, that's pretty solid. I mean, they're on the outs right now, but so far, obviously we're going to start to get a look at how he became her maker, which might change some opinions, but for now, he's the winner. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Eric, Yahoo OMG expressed some fan concerns over Alexander Skarsgård's career when they asked him in a recent interview if, because True Blood, or because his film career is taking off, was he anxious to end his vampire duties? And he was pretty emphatic. He says, no, I love my work in this series. This is a great character, and Eric is tremendously popular all over the world. It would be insane if I wanted to leave the series voluntarily. He said that right now he's enjoying getting to do movies in between seasons. He has, a fair amount of time on hiatus when he can go work on things, as we've seen. He's trying to find some good projects and see what happens there, but he said he remembers what it's like to spend years not getting any phone calls, not having any scripts sent his way. So he's very happy to have True Blood to look forward to every year and seeing what his character does as the series unfolds. Says he doesn't believe audience will have any problem separating him from Eric in any other roles he takes, which I think is accurate. I think we've seen that so far with the various roles that he's had. So, yeah, just in case you were wondering, I know every now and then it seems like the rumors pop up that he's on his way out. Skarsgård wants out. And I'm glad that they asked him so that he could definitively state, no. As a matter of fact, he does not want out. So, he's
kind of likes his job.
Yeah, he's quite happy where he is, and we're quite happy having him there. So, I think...
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get fired anytime soon.
No. And, I know they only asked Skarsgård this, and for some reason he's the only one that those rumors circulate about. I'm not sure why. But I think pretty much everybody working on that show is happy to be there and happy to have that job. So, they all had, all of the original cast have 6-year contracts, 6-season contracts. So it wouldn't be until the end of next season that anyone's future could be in jeopardy if they decide to go for a season 7. So rest assured, you guys, they're sticking around. Yeah. If there is a season 6, everybody, this is True Blood, we can't say everybody. But chances are good that if anybody leaves, it's not because they asked to be let out of their contract. Let's put it that way.
Right. It's a pretty steady gig.
Yeah, and I think everybody's enjoying what they're getting to do, so.
Yeah. Well, certainly the viewers enjoy watching them, and the ratings from last week's premiere tells the tale. 6.3 million people tuned in. They were very happy to have their True Blood Sundays back. And it's down, those numbers are down just a tad from last season's premiere, but they are up from the season 4 finale. True Blood is still HBO's highest rated show, even over Game of Thrones, whose series high only reached 4.2 million. So,
interesting.
It was pretty cool to see that. There's a little bit more about that if you go to the news article on our website at True-Blood.net. Look under news, and the website that I got the information from actually broke it down a little bit more, a lot more.
It's interesting. Game of Thrones is pretty buzzy. I enjoy it a lot, and it's gotten a lot of media buzz, and the fans are really enjoying it. And it's interesting that it still is. Those ratings are better than season 1, but that it still hasn't quite reached True Blood heights. and True Blood's, as some people say, getting a little long in the tooth, a little long in the fang. Season 5, I mean, that's usually when they start losing viewers. Actually, it's usually around season 3, but, so props to True Blood.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's happening too much.
Nope. And we should have this week's ratings news out probably before this podcast is released. Check for it on, I think this came out late Monday or early Tuesday, since it's cable, but we'll see. We'll have it posted as soon as it's available. True Blood was also the most talked about premiere on premium cable ever. According to Mashable, Twitter showed a record 234,374 tweets, and that number would have been higher if someone had remembered the hashtag. While Facebook claimed 7,476 comments altogether, and this surpasses the social chatter for Game of Thrones, Dexter, and Boardwalk Empire, which I think were the previous kind of high water marks for social media discussion. So another record falls to True Blood.
Yes, and I don't know if it's just that Trubies like to talk or during the show.
That's part of it.
I don't know.
I think
more than everybody else. I don't know.
I think we broke a record with the live chat, I believe. I need to go back and look, but I think we broke a record with the number of people participating and the number of comments sent. We had almost 1,000 comments sent in the live chat during the season premiere, so I'm pretty sure that's a record. But like I said, I haven't gone back and actually looked at the numbers yet. But we did have the highest ever premiere day numbers on our site, and when we say premiere day, we're looking at both Sunday and Monday, kind of together in a sort of a 12-hour block of time there. And, we had our highest numbers ever for that kind of premiere period of time. So people be wanting the news.
Yes, and we got it for you. So glad to have you aboard.
Well, before we head into the episode discussion, we wanted to remind you that you can get your audiobook version of Deadlock for free. If you haven't already, check out audibletrial.com/trueblood for a free audiobook and free 30-day trial of Audible service. You can choose from thousands of titles, including all 12 Sookie novels, plus pretty much everything else Charlene has ever written. Tons of other great fiction writers and helpful books on pretty much any topic. Visit audibletrial.com/trueblood for your free book.
All right, we're going to head into the episode discussion now. There was a lot going on tonight. The episode is the second one of Season 5, and it was titled Authority Always Wins. And we had a ton. I was really stoked about this episode. I thought it was really, I really liked everything about it. It kind of had a little bit of a different feel to it. Did it seem that way to you?
It wasn't quite as whiplashy as the premiere, you know. There was a ton going on in the premiere, and they had a lot of stories that they needed to service. But there was the editing, I think, could have been a little smoother. And it felt like this week, while they still had several stories that they were showing us, the transitions were a little bit smoother. Mm-hmm. It's still a little bit choppy, but I think we're probably in for at least one more episode of that until we really get deep into these storylines, but we made some good headway. And yeah, there's a lot of, right now I'm having a hard time pinpointing which storyline is my favorite, because there's some really, really good stuff happening. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, we could start with Sookie, because the episode tonight, right where they left off with Tara and Sookie and Lafayette and Pam. Mm.
Yeah.
Pam not showing herself to be that great of a maker.
No.
Sorry to say.
Not all that concerned about her progeny yet.
She fell a little short.
Yeah. But on the other hand, there was, when Tara first went after Sookie, and Pam was just kind of standing there laughing, and Lafayette's like, do something. She's like, I'm laughing. That was a very Pam thing to do, you know?
It was.
It was just kind of like, she was like, that's my baby.
Yeah.
That's my baby.
Well, and remember, and at first I'm watching that and I'm going, Pam, you're so mean, but she's still mad at Sookie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She couldn't bite Sookie, but Tara could do it.
Yeah. She was having a good time seeing Sookie get a little bit of something that Pam would like to have done.
Yeah, getting chomped on a little bit.
Yeah.
But she did then order Tara not to bite either Sookie or Lafayette. Mm-hmm. And she healed Sookie's vampire bites. Yeah. So, as someone who was munched on by mosquitoes yesterday, I was a little bit envious of that. I need a Pam too.
Well, Pam needs Sookie now. They made a deal.
That's right. She needs her to stay alive.
Right. So I was a little surprised, though, that seeing how crazy Tara was, she just kind of left.
I'm trying to decide if Pam decided, she ordered Tara not to bite either of them, and then she had confidence in Sookie to handle her.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to decide if it was that, or if she was like, she's not going to bite you, I don't care what else she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Pam did...
She could break all your legs and your arms, but she could rip your house again. She could rip your head off, but...
Yeah.
But
she trashed the house again. Yes. I mean, really? I don't know why Sookie bothers cleaning.
I don't either. But the good thing is, though, is that, when Tara comes around, if Tara comes around, she can whip that place into shape really quick.
That's true.
Or she can get Eric in there.
Yeah, she can do some of that vampire house cleaning. Now, that reminds me that there were some questions in the chat room. How was Pam able to just take Tara inside? Why didn't Tara have to be invited into the house? Because Eric still owns the house. Sookie's not the owner, so there's not a live person does not own the house, therefore Tara can enter without being invited. Yeah. So just to clear that up. I like that they brought the cubby in again, Eric's cubby.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just a little reminder of that, a little flashback to that. And then, what did you think of Lafayette?
Well,
the man is in a rough spot.
I liked that he was having some regrets. Because I just wouldn't have believed it. Because remember last week I had a problem with him being so back and forth, but we had decided he was still grieving and emotional and things like that. So now this week's episode we see that he's, now he's seeing, oops. It's a big oops, but he was having some regrets about what he had done to Tara, making her, and he even said it, making her the very thing that she hates.
Right.
And so I'm glad they brought that out for us all. But then later, to want to stake her, yikes. I think if I was in his position, I'd what do you do? I understand why he wanted to do that. Just end it.
He felt like Tara was gone.
Yeah.
Because he didn't see any of his cousin in there anymore.
Yeah.
And he just felt like, let's just put her out of her misery. She would hate us anyway. Mm-hmm. And then it was Sookie who came to him and said, no, stop. Have faith. She's still in there. Mm-hmm. So I've been thinking back to the interactions Lafayette has had with vampires, and there haven't really been that many.
No.
They've been pretty brief. As much as he's been involved in supernatural stuff, it hasn't been vampire supernatural stuff. Mm-hmm. So in this case, Sookie really has the knowledge and the experience to be able to tell him. She even said it gets better, which was a little heavy-handed, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just, to make the analogy to the It Gets Better campaign, which most of the cats have been a part of. Mm-hmm. But
she referred to blanking out Jessica.
Right.
When she was first turned, it took a while for her to calm down, to settle in.
Yeah.
And get used to
And they weren't actually witness to that. Mm-mm. To most of it. They didn't really see a lot of that because Bill shipped her off to Eric and Pam.
Yeah.
To Fantasia boarding school, I guess.
For a very brief time, remember, because they couldn't handle her.
Yeah, they couldn't handle her. He brought her back.
Yeah.
But, Lafayette wasn't really around that. Mm-mm. And he just doesn't have the experience. So it was an interesting scene. I think it was a necessary scene because it gave some depth to what Tara's to the choice that Lafayette and Sookie made on Tara's behalf, and what she's become. To say, we didn't do this lightly. There will be consequences. There will be repercussions, and these characters understand that.
Well, even to have him admit that he only requested that she be turned for his own sake. That he was just selfish. It was a selfish decision on his part. You admit that and you move on, but you don't stake her. So I think some things needed to be dealt with and cleared off the table.
Right.
So now
I'm glad that they did.
I am too. So now it's done. It's over with, and it was just a little bit funny that he was afraid to give her the True Blood drink.
Pulled the sweater up around his neck.
I would be too. I would. The look on her face.
That's awesome.
Boy, I'm telling you, I was afraid of her.
When she was perched up on that sink in the kitchen, that reminded me. I had a flashback to Buffy the Vampire Slayer when the very first Slayer was brought back to life, and she was just so primal, and it just reminded me of that. I wonder if that was inspiration for them.
Maybe
to have Tara do that. That was just it was kind of a cool little shout out, I thought.
Yeah.
I know you didn't watch Buffy, so
no,
make a lot of sense for you, but
no, I know.
Well, I think it's a little call.
One of these days, I'm going to get to
fans.
it. I swear. One of these days,
Yeah.
if they stop making new shows to watch.
Knock it off, Hollywood.
So
really, not a whole lot of Sookie in this episode, considering. But she's dealing with Tara. She and Lafayette are dealing with Tara, and at the very end of their little storyline, Tara says, she rises and for the night, and she's back. She has her faculties back, I guess we would say.
Seemed like it to me.
And she said, "I am never going to forgive you for this."
Yeah. So I was glad they did that because it really makes her not look so crazy before, as much as the total anger and the total rage can you imagine, can you just imagine for a minute being forced to become the very person that you absolutely think of the person that you hate the most. I mean, in the literal sense of the word hate, you just hate them, and you're forced to become that person. I mean, how much rage? I don't know, maybe it's because I'm...
And Tara already had so much rage.
Right.
That now it's just compounded.
So now, after Franklin Mott, and after all the crap she'd been through, with that, and with Russell, she was exposed a little bit.
Yeah, and what she's seen Sookie go through.
Right.
With the vampires.
And now here she is one, and she is... I don't blame her.
Nope.
I don't blame her. So it's kind of difficult because you understand why Sookie and Lafayette did it, but then you understand why she's like, I almost feel like, don't ever forgive them, Tara. Don't ever forgive them for doing that to you.
Yeah, exactly. Hold the grudge.
You gave your life for your best friend, and this is how she repays you? Good Lord. Oh, well. Anyway, it was well done, I think.
Yeah.
So we can move on now, I think, to Bill and Eric and their predicament.
Oh, my.
Which is quite interesting. And this is where I kind of feel like the show felt a little different. It's kind of like a different True Blood because of their interrogation and, seeing them at the mercy of this powerful organization. It just kind of felt, I don't know. I don't know the word that I'm trying for, but it just felt like a different True Blood. It wasn't so unrealistic,
Oh, well, I thought it was interesting that instead of having these dark, dank dungeons and relics here and there and everywhere and dripping water and creepy lighting, it was state of the art.
Yeah.
I mean, this organization has money.
It did.
They have money to spend,
Yeah.
and they had like the latest in torture techniques with the silver IV, the pure silver IV, and I don't know, just all the way that Salome, to get in, she had to prick her finger and have it take her blood and all of this stuff, and it was an interesting interpretation, an interesting way to present this vampire authority.
I think that maybe that's what it was that makes it feel so different to me, is because of all the state-of-the-art technology that they use. And we've been used to seeing True Blood where it's, merlots, with the scratched, tables and the...
Or even Fantasia, or even Bill's house, even in the mansion when it's been refurbished, it's still very traditional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we've been used to being kind of back in time a little bit with all of our encounters with vampires. And Russell Edgington was very
gaudy,
old-fashioned, and very, very Victorian, and in the way that he decorated, and the way that he behaved, and everybody dresses for dinner and everything. So we've just been really used to being kind of steeped in these various traditions. And here we have the state-of-the-art facility, but at the same time, it's steeped in tradition. I mean, there was that communion ceremony where Roman had everybody take a few drops of his blood, which he said was Lilith's blood, so I guess that means he's descended directly from her?
Maybe.
Or was it symbolic?
I don't know. I think we're going to see more about that in future episodes.
What did you think about that vampire origin story? I'd never heard anything like that before. I think that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some people in the live chat who were saying, "Oh, the radical Christians are going to be all up in arms about this." Well, I'm pretty sure they're not watching True Blood.
They're not.
So there's that.
They're not watching it.
And those of us Christians who are watching know that this is fiction. So, but I just thought that was really interesting, the way that they did that, and it kind of was being woven in sort of in several different storylines. For example, Steve Newlin, when he was on TV talking, doing that interview and explaining how he is now all about accepting vampires because he is one, but apparently still not accepting being gay. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Not going public with that yet, but that whole thing. He said something about he's pretty sure Jesus loves vampires too, and he said something about, I'm pretty sure anyone who's been dead for 3 days understands us, which was very, very clever on Steve's part, but also kind of tied in to what we were hearing from the authorities, that the origin story that we got from Peter, and then the communion ceremony that we saw in the council chambers. So I really like when they start tying things together like that. We've talked about that before, that True Blood, that it's most effective when everything sort of flows and fits together. And so we have Tara and her origin story, and then Pam flashing back to when she was made, which I guess we'll see next week, but we saw the prelude to it in this week's episode. And then, the authority storyline giving us some more backstory on vampires and their origins in the True Blood universe. And I really like that. I just really like it when they do that, and when they find creative ways to make it almost believable.
Being a Supernatural fan, I found it interesting they chose the name Lilith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any Supernatural fans will understand what I mean.
Well, isn't there a story that predates Christianity about that Lilith was really the first human?
I don't know.
I thought that was true. I thought that was in some of the like the pagan religions, the pre-Christian religions. I thought Lilith was supposed to be like the mother of everyone.
Oh,
like she predates Adam and Eve.
I don't know. I hadn't heard that.
Let me look on Wikipedia. Yes, she is a character in Jewish mythology who is generally thought to be related to a class of female demons in Mesopotamian texts. Very little information has been found relating to the view of these demons. She's mentioned in Isaiah 34:14 as in a list of animals, And in the Dead Sea Scrolls, Songs of the Sage, the term first occurs in a list of monsters. So Lilith has been identified as a female demon and in Jewish folklore. And she is, in some folklore, she is Adam's first wife. And, yeah, interesting. Yeah, we're going to have to do a little article on this, I think. But
I did not know any of that,
Jewish
so see, I learned something new.
Yeah. So she is, in Jewish mythology, she was a monster who was Adam's first wife. And so that fits in nicely with the vampire mythology.
Huh.
Yeah. And then we have, so I was a little confused about what exactly Bill and Eric were being interrogated about. Was it about Nora's supposed betrayal and Nan's death? And possibly their involvement in anti-mainstreaming?
Well, the way I understood it, if they found out that Nora was an enemy, whatever, betrayed them, then and then they were found, with Eric and Bill, or she was found with Eric and Bill, that possibly that would raise some questions too. I don't know. Do they know the relationship between Nora and Eric?
See, Salome told Eric that she hadn't been sentenced to the true death and it had been executed.
Okay,
basically.
so
she used that as an interrogation technique.
So she might know. So
it seems like they know that he and Nora mean something to each other, but no one said anything about them being brother sister, vampire brothers.
Okay, so but even that is enough. So if they discovered that she was a traitor, it would be natural for them to assume that Bill and Eric would also be traitors. So I was assuming that they were being tried for both of those crimes, for being traitor and for killing Nan. For killing an authority.
Okay, because killing Nan could be seen as treason. Sure, okay. So basically treason. They were being tried for treason. And they just had 3 different things pieces of information that they wanted. Okay.
I'm still not, in hindsight, I'm still not 100% sure, why they killed Nan. She didn't pose a threat, did she? She was sent to kill them, but she had already told them she wasn't going to do that.
I think she just pissed him off.
That was it? And
since she had left the authority, I don't know, I think it was impulsive. Okay.
Well then, oops.
Yeah, I don't think it was, I don't think it was planned. But, yeah. Not really sure about the motives there either.
Yeah. Maybe it was...
Got him in some hot water.
Yeah. Now they're in trouble. But, Bill pulls out a wild card.
The Russell card.
He pulls the Russell.
Yeah.
How awesome.
I thought it would be Eric. Because he was the one that Elsie called and he had the knowledge. But apparently he told Bill. Or did Bill even know that Russell was free? He just knew. Maybe he was just saying, we know where Russell is.
No, Eric told Bill. After he got off the phone.
No, he didn't.
I thought he did.
No, because they got ambushed.
Okay.
So we never saw him tell Bill. So it could be that Bill was going to give up Russell's location in the parking garage, and then Eric chimed in and said, oh, by the way, and now he's escaped. But I was waiting for Eric to say it, but really, Bill's the one who knows how to play those kinds of cards. Eric is, he will abide by the rules, but he doesn't know how to play the game, or just refuses to play the game. Whereas Bill, he knows how to, negotiate and be diplomatic and be a king. He knows how to be a king.
Yeah, I think we saw that last season. It's not that Eric wouldn't know. I think that Eric just doesn't care. I think it's just...
I think he just doesn't want to.
He just doesn't care. He's the kind of guy...
And actually
he's the kind of guy that he is a businessman, and he hires people to do those little jobs. And he doesn't care. He doesn't want to hear the details. He just wants to hear the results.
Well, and he also told Roman point blank, I stay away from
That too.
politics.
So
Where Bill, he's good with politics. He's a good politician.
Right.
So it was certainly within character for him to be the one to play the Russell card. I was just a little surprised that he's the one that did it. But it worked. Whoever played it, it worked. Now, I'm pretty sure that Nora is still not
no, I don't
dead.
think I was going to ask you.
Are they going to do that every time? And we're taking her to the true death. I mean, eventually nobody's going to believe you guys. Just saying.
I don't think she isn't she on a few more episodes? Isn't she? Because the three of them go about then finding Russell or something.
Right, exactly. So, which is going to be interesting to see Sookie when she encounters Nora with Eric. I have to wonder if that's going to be
a little
light bulb moment. Shall we
a
say?
little jealousy flare, a little green-eyed monster.
Maybe. And then, holy cow, Salome. That is one hot vampire. I've never seen that actress, Valentina Cervi, I think it's pronounced. Cervi?
Okay.
Cervi? I don't know. You're Italian.
I don't know.
How do you pronounce it? Cervi?
I don't know.
Okay. Italian Trubies, help us out with pronunciation.
I don't
but
speak the
anyway,
language.
dang, she's
beautiful.
smoking hot.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah. And she's got a little Sophia Loren thing going on too, I think. Which is kind of interesting that she's chosen that persona. But I thought it was interesting that they sent her to deal with Eric and Dieter to deal with Bill in the interrogation. But
well, it might have been, it might have been, Eric is such a playboy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, of course they would send him the hot girl, and Bill gets the more. I mean, Dieter is, he's a torturer, but I remember in the casting call, he's very good at his job and he enjoys it.
And you could tell.
So, yeah, and so for him to be the one to go deal with politician Bill, I could see how there might be sort of a mutual respect between the two of them.
On the same level there.
We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. And, and the guys handled themselves pretty well. They didn't give up much at all.
No. Interesting. It was good. I liked seeing Christopher Heyerdahl. I think he did a great job, but I knew he would.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And then Chris Maloney was as imposing as I was hoping he would be.
Yeah. Man, he was good.
Yeah.
I am the authority. Yes, indeed you are, sir.
Now, not a lot from the other council members yet.
Except that one woman.
Alexander Roslin. Yeah. She was, she voted kill him. True death. And then Kibwe was trying to be more tolerant and saying, they did rid us of a pretty powerful threat. So leniency might be the way to go. And then we don't know what Alexander, the 9-year-old forever vampire, was going to say.
No, he said he's well, I think he probably would have been in favor of staking them to the true death because he was pretty angry that they killed a member of the authority. Right. He didn't get to finish his sentence, but I assumed. It led me to assume that he would have gone for the true death for the two of them. So yeah. And that's what Roman was going to do until they played the Russell card. Which, let's talk about Russell for a minute. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. He reminded me of Voldemort. Yes.
But grosser.
What the creepy part was at the end of that scene, he started to laugh. Did you catch that? Oh, no. Yes. He started to laugh. That freaked me out. More than anything, I could deal with the way he looked. Because it just, I could deal with that. Because really, he did just look like Voldemort. But when he started to laugh, I thought, oh my gosh. He had to be in 10 kinds of pain. And here he is. But he's still crazy enough. Absolutely nuts. Yeah.
I had to wait around to watch the preview a couple of times to sort of erase that of my last memory of the episode. But we'll talk about that in spoilers.
So we did see Russell. Yikes! I didn't expect that so soon.
Yeah, neither did I. Oh, body parts all around.
Yeah, that was gross. Not as gross as I thought. All right, so then we have Sam and Luna. Luna is angry.
She's got her mama bear thing going on.
I totally get her. I do get her.
Yeah.
And for her to.
How cute is that baby wolf in the pajamas? Oh my gosh!
I wanted it.
That was so cute.
That was kind of quick.
Oh. Wasn't it? I thought they weren't supposed to turn until they hit puberty. So, isn't Emma only like 7 or 8?
Yeah. So, I'm wondering if it's because she's also a shifter. That's
what I was wondering. If it's because she's aware and a shifter.
So, I don't know. But that was strange. Throwing Martha out of the house? Yes, please, thank you. Woman's creepy.
Yeah. Well, it seemed a little bit like an overreaction, but I get it. She was in, like I said, she's in Mama Bear mode, and that's fine.
No, I totally got it. I mean, she ate her son.
And they were all mad at Elsie because he wasn't going to take a bite. Oh. It doesn't make you, a man. It just makes you stupid.
Yeah.
Being disrespectful. Okay, I understand that there are pack rules, but Alcide has said over and over that he doesn't want to be involved with all of that. So, get over it, you guys.
Yeah, I'm thinking that who was that girl they kept flashing to? When Alcide...
Oh, Ricky, the vampire the werewolf that found Sam, that tracked him down.
That's right.
Yeah. You didn't recognize her because she had clothes on. That's it.
Yeah. Do you think she's going to have a thing with Alcide? I think so.
With Alcide? Yeah. I don't know. When's he going to have time? He's got to deal with Debbie's death. Apparently he's going to be getting it on with Sookie at some point.
I don't know. She just looked...
I don't know.
She kind of looked like, I don't know, like she wasn't so sure about these rules, these pack rules, and making Elsie, partake. Man, I am so glad I didn't just eat dinner.
It was another kind of communion thing,
weird,
wasn't it?
Huh?
Interesting.
Yeah, so briefly saw Elsie. Rising above it. Didn't care about the insults. Yeah.
For now.
Care about the insults. So, interesting.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Terry and Arlene. Terry's having some flashbacks.
Yeah, he's losing it. PTSD.
Yeah. Gosh, what happened?
Now, someone pointed out in the... I can't remember if it was in live chat or on Twitter, but someone pointed out that PTSD, he has no control. Basically, it takes control of him. And so his reactions like, lashing out at Arlene, pushing her back when she surprised him, that's not Terry. That's the PTSD that's manifesting. So it's hard to watch, but I am glad that they're being realistic in their portrayal.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. We're getting glimpses of what happened. I'm absolutely sure we're going to find out the whole story. We'll get that whole picture. But seeing the pictures, something pretty weird happened over there. And maybe to Terry? Or maybe he did...
I think maybe they participated in something that was uncalled for.
Know.
So, but towards the end of the episode, wasn't Terry telling Patrick that he thought he knew, like, it was someone from their, butcher this, tune or whatever it's called, that was setting the fires, and like it was maybe a PTSD, something about something that they had done over in Iraq.
Yeah, I thought it was one of their buddies from the same unit. That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy then. Back then, he was out of control. So I don't know what out of control means. I don't know why this guy's out of control. And apparently he's worse, and he's still around.
And now they have to go track him down. So there's our road trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Oh, and here's Marlo. Hello, Marlo. Come join the party. Ow. So I did like, though, that Arlene was like, "You guys figure this out. I have kids, Patrick. Figure it out." Okay.
Yeah. Can't be having this around the youngins.
So.
Yeah. So they don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, and he's dangerous. Terry's, the way Terry's acting, you just don't want to have that around the kids. So.
No, he threw Arlene across the room.
And that's, I guess, where we are with that storyline.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm still interested. It's still all part of what's going on.
Still waiting to be interested.
It's leading up to something big for them. Yeah. Leading up to possibly what we'll talk about in the spoiler section, which is coming up right now.
Okay. Are we done with everybody else? Well, no, we didn't talk about Jessica.
I don't know. I think so.
Jason.
We didn't talk about Jessica and Jason.
And Steve Newlin. Oh! So, Steve wants to buy Jason from Jessica? Are you kidding me?
Where did he get all that money?
Well, I mean, he had fellowship with the Son, so he's got to have access.
So he took it from all the members?
I mean, he had to have access to some bank accounts, even though he said that he's no longer affiliated with any of them. But that was a pretty good scene. $10,000. I'll give you $10,000 for Jason. It's just like 20. Have you seen his butt? Yeah, that's why I'm offering you $10,000. And then, she's bargaining, and I'm like, wait, she can't be serious, right? She's got to be playing him. And she totally was.
Yeah.
And then they had a baby vampire cat fight. Hair pulling? Really?
Really?
Oh, I want more Steve and Jessica scenes. Pronto.
Yeah. Now, what did he mean when he said to her, when she said, my father's the king, and
not anymore.
Not
then
anymore.
He knew. To me, that says he knew that Bill had been taken by the authority.
Yeah.
So he's up to something. He's up to something.
Yes. There's something weird there. Now I get it. Now I think I see what you mean.
And he's too smiley.
He knows somebody in there, so it makes me wonder if there is. I mean, does he know who the double agents and the traitors are in the authority? I wonder. No, he wouldn't know because he's a blabbermouth right now.
I think he just has a source. I think he has some sort of a connection to the authority, which would make sense. I mean, he's a new vampire, so surely he had to register or something. I don't know. Maybe he got a welcome packet. But they have to know of his existence. But there's also the question of who turned him. Still. Yeah. Now, okay, so he was just on TV saying vampires, except I was wrong. Vampires are people too, yada, yada, yada. And then we find out in the authority that, in those scenes with Bill and Eric and the authority council and everybody, that they are concerned about people that are working against their mainstreaming policies and initiatives and everything. So if they could turn and convert someone as anti-vampire as Steve Newlin and then put him out on the talk show circuit talking about accepting vampires, it's got to be someone. That had to have been a mandated thing, don't you think?
Yeah, it would make sense.
That was part of some plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what his own personal agenda is, I'm not sure, but I think he's working for the authority.
That would make complete sense.
And would you say maybe Salome turned him?
I would lean towards her.
She's an ancient vampire. Ancient. I mean, this is Salome as in John the Baptist beheading Salome.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. He said it was a woman.
Yeah, that's true.
And, she took off. I would lean towards her.
Because we don't really know anybody else yet. I don't think it would have been Nora.
Mm-hmm. No. So he right now, at this point right now, he's got nothing to do with Russell Edgington.
I don't think so. Unless the same person, the same vampire that turned him released Russell Edgington, but that would be counterproductive unless they knew that Russell Edgington hadn't met the true death and they dug him up to deliver that and somehow he got away.
I don't know. Wouldn't it be interesting if Salome was a double agent too?
You know what? I could see it. As old as she is, I think her agenda is her own. Really, she's just. Mm-hmm. It's in her best interest at the moment to be part of the authority, but
to be under Roman.
I think maybe literally. I'm not sure. I was getting a vibe.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This is interesting.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
I feel like I need to make a chart again.
Yeah. So Jessica's sick of the partying.
Yeah. I think she went through that phase pretty quickly. It's only been, 2 days?
Yeah. Everybody get out before I eat you.
Yeah, that encounter with Steve had her realizing that she's got bigger issues to deal with.
Yeah. Right. She's probably going to be looking for Bill.
I would think so.
Yeah, so...
Oh, well,
so
sure,
Jess
that comment that Steve made, that had to be an it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably going to go looking for Bill, finding out what's going on with him.
Yeah.
And Jason, acting all authoritative, all policey,
official and stuff.
when they found Debbie Pelt's car.
Oh yeah,
they found her car.
I forgot about her vehicle.
Oh my gosh!
Now I was proud of Andy for giving Jason that vial of V.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Good boy, Andy.
Yep.
Yeah, our two boys helping each other out. I like them together.
So do I.
I do like that. I like that together. And
although
poor Jason trying to make one last ditch effort with Hoyt.
Yeah, he had to love Maxine though, yelling at him, and then as he leaves, thank you for breaking him and that red-haired Jezebel up. Oh, okay, Kat. Seriously, just pick a position and stay there. And also, Jason's comment to Andy was talking about that, Holly's blowing him off. And Jason's like, oh, that's the best way, because something about getting the pie and not having to pay for the cow. I think that's what he was saying. Because it's Jason and he couldn't quite get that right, but I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
But then you could see on his face when he turned away from Andy that he is upset that Jason broke up, or that Jessica didn't want to be his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It does bother him.
What a dilemma. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a little more of Jason's past sins coming up to revisit him now.
Belt to the face.
Yeah. I wonder how much more we're going to see of all of this coming out of the coming out from under rocks.
I think more, and I think Hoyt's kind of stirring things up.
Yeah, that could be.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. Hoyt had his back before, applauded him even.
Yeah.
Wanted to be like him.
And then got burned.
But, yeah, so, I don't know. Andy made that crack. Don't you touch Holly.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops number 3. 3 oopses in one episode.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And then, we didn't talk about Pam's flashback. We didn't get as much of it as I thought we were going to. I mean, I knew it was going to be spread over a couple of episodes, but I thought we'd get more. But interesting stuff.
Who was that girl that she found? Was it one of her employees?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was a madam at a brothel in San Francisco in 1905, and apparently someone was killing her employees, I guess, her girls.
Right.
And then went after her. And that's when Eric stepped in. Looking quite dashing.
Yeah. He looked good. Top hat and tails, huh?
His Edwardian broody garb.
Yes. Yes. He looked quite dapper.
I think we need to put him and Bill in his 1920s tux in a little gallery. Start our little collection of vintage vampire.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
In evening wear. Vintage vampire evening wear gallery.
Yeah, but can we talk about Pam's dress?
Stunning! Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
Man, I was really drooling over that thing.
That was, yeah. Both of them. The one that she was walking in, and then the one at in the brothel itself. Beautiful. Nice work, Audrey.
Well done. Well done. She looked stunning.
I wonder what she's going to buy with the money that Eric gave her after she got blood on her dress.
I can't wait to see. I hope it's pretty too. I hope it's more than just a new hat.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the whole ensemble.
Her little hat was so cute too. A little perched up there on her head.
I know. I loved it. Totally loved it.
If I were going to be a vampire for Halloween, I would dress like that. Even though I know she wasn't a vampire yet. That's what I would dress as. Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, a little taste.
First meet.
A little taste.
Love it. Love it. So, and the flashbacks are not. They're not being triggered by. I don't think they're not being triggered by what we thought would trigger them.
Well, I think they kind of are though, because Eric's missing, and she just made Tara. She's a maker now, and I think that's what is causing her to think back. I
don't know. I kind of think it's more that she's missing Eric and she can't get a hold of him.
Right. Yeah.
She doesn't know where he is. She can't get in touch with him. They've got some unfinished business between them, some hard feelings. They left on bad terms, and she's still very, very upset about that. Yeah. And I just really think that all of that is just triggering just her sorrow. I really just can feel her sorrow when she wakes up.
Yes.
In her coffin.
Yeah.
And they panned out, then they showed the outside of her coffin. I almost expected to hear her kind of weeping a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably would have been kind of cheesy, but, I expected that because I just could feel sorrow coming from her. I think that's what's triggering her memories.
Yeah. I think next time when we see more of it, okay, really, Kat? He just ruined this completely solemn discussion about Pam and her emotions. By climbing on my head and biting me. But I think next week when we see more of the flashback and how she was actually made, maybe we'll have a stronger connection to what is making her reminisce. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I could feel her sorrow as well. She is definitely sad about that her maker that she's on the outs with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an unusual place for Pam to be.
It is. It really is. She's used to be very close to him and very, very connected. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and from Eric's side, we're finding out that there's things that he's kept from her.
Yeah.
What's she going to do when she finds that out?
Oh, yeah. When she meets Nora, Nora might wish she had been executed.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. Poor Pam.
Yeah.
Aw, she's having a tough season.
Already? It's only been 2 episodes.
I know. Poor Pam.
Yeah.
So, I like that shot of the portrait. I know I'm skipping around.
Oh yeah, Roman back in the Renaissance era.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, he looked kind of formal.
Those should be on the backs of like a deck of playing
It
cards for
should,
vampires.
yeah.
Portrait.
Famous vampires in history.
Yeah.
So,
So, did you get kind of, and going back to, see now I'm flipping back again, going back to the flashback, Pam's flashback, did you kind of get a feeling of a Jack the Ripper?
oh, yeah. Several people in the chat room were immediately like, oh my gosh, it's Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
But who? What? The guy who Eric stopped?
Yeah.
Or Eric himself?
No, the guy that Eric stopped.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I suspect they probably modeled it after that, but it was
Yeah.
a few decades later and on a different continent. So Jack the Ripper was in England in the 1880s, I believe.
Yes.
This is San Francisco
But it just
in
felt,
1905.
but it just felt like it. So
it
it's
did.
very,
All the
well
fog
done.
and the cobblestones and
Yeah,
yeah.
it was good. Well done.
Looking forward to more
Great
of that.
episode. It was
It
a
was
great
good.
episode.
It was stronger than the premiere. I'm glad. I mean, I enjoyed the premiere, but it was still, maybe a B for me. And this is more of an maybe an A minus, B plus, A minus. Yeah. So
It's good. All right. Did we cover it all?
I think so. I think that's everyone.
All right. All right, well then we're going to move into our spoiler section, and before we do, don't forget that Billy is going to have her recap up in the next day or two, so be sure to come back and check that out. Weigh in, see what you think about, give us your thoughts on what you thought about the episode, and you can tell Billy, have a discussion with Billy too. She loves it. So if you don't want to be spoiled at this point, we're going to move on in, and we're going to start spoiling you, so bye-bye.
Here come the spoilers! So late last week, True-Blood.net got to break the news that Robert Patrick will be joining the Wares this season as Alcide's father, Jackson. We're going to meet him in episode 509, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, in a flashback to when Alcide and Debbie Pelt were teenagers back in the 80s, so there should be some good hair involved.
Oh no!
Yeah. And now it's not going to be Joe and Britt playing the characters. They cast some younger people to play them. So that would have been pretty funny. Back then, Jackson is described as being powerful, inspiring, heroic. But in present day, when we see him, he's a man in his 50s. He's pretty much given up on life. And Robert Patrick will be a recurring guest star as Jackson Herveau. He's you probably know him. I think most people know him from Terminator 2, and then also let's see, he took over for David Duchovny in the X-Files. He's in a new show coming up on ABC called The Last Resort that we both really like.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah. So if you're not quite sure who he is, just go to the news section on True-Blood.net and look at his picture, and then you'll be like, oh, that dude. So, and we do have a picture up of him in costume for True Blood that our source shared with us. So you can check that out and just kind of get a sneak peek at what he's going to look like when he appears on the show.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that. When we found that out, I was like, oh yay!
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like him. I like that actor.
Yeah.
So we had to sit on that for a couple weeks.
Some of the comments were that he looks too small and to be Alcide's dad, but Robert Patrick has a presence. He has a very large presence on the screen.
Yeah, so. Physically, I don't see a lot of resemblance, but attitude and personality, for sure. For sure.
So, have no fear. They don't ever miscast on this show. Sam Trammell stopped in for a visit with Access Hollywood and dropped a clue regarding Sam in the season finale, no less. Sam says, we just read the script yesterday, and there's something that happens to me that's just ridiculous. He says, I got excited until I realized what was technically going to be demanded. It's going to look great, but it's going to feel kind of odd. So this is going to be something other than Sam taking his clothes off, because it just doesn't feel odd anymore.
Yeah. That's just another day at work.
Yeah,
Yeah. What technically is going to be involved? I don't know.
Yeah, somebody mentioned, is he going to turn into a lion? I don't think, he's already shifted into other things.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's going to be something that's going to be ridiculous and new. So this is, Very interesting.
I don't know. Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
We also had a casting call for the season finale that had a lot of people speculating. It started with E! Online, who posted... E! Online. Who posted that they were casting a Sookie doppelganger, much like Elena and Catherine on the Vampire Diaries. Which immediately had me going, nah, what? I don't think so. I don't think so. So then we got to see the actual casting call, and it looks more like a body double. She doesn't have any lines. They gave the exact measurements. And I think, this is the season finale, and Anna Paquin, of course, is pregnant. And at this point, they start filming. They finish filming on July 12th, the finale. So I think they start filming it here in a couple of weeks. And Anna's already showing. Sookie, of course, is not pregnant. So if there's any nudity required for Sookie in the season finale, and it kind of sounds like there is, then they need a body double. So I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And I think E! Online is just full of it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to.
Opinion.
Throw out their own red herrings.
Yeah, well, they don't always interpret things quite right, either on purpose or just because they're not thinking it through. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Or they want to stir up the fans.
Or they just want more traffic to their site. Mm-hmm. That could be it too.
Yeah.
But no, I'm pretty sure that's just a body double that they're looking for.
Yeah. And what better way to stir up some trouble than to compare True Blood with Vampire Diaries?
Well, yeah. And, the casting call, it does say Sookie Doppelganger. Mm-hmm. To be fair. They did use that term. So, they were, they were being a little stinker about it.
And I'm not anti-Vampire Diaries. I watched the show myself. Mm-hmm. I love the show, so I'm not making fun. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think it was the True Blood casting and the producers that were just kind of, they know that we see the casting calls, and so they just gave us something to talk about. Mm-hmm. So mission accomplished, you guys.
We're talking about it.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's all we're talking about for this week.
Yeah. That's it? Okay.
I think so. I think that's more than enough. I think you guys are tired of listening to us.
I think you're tired of listening to us drone on. So that's it for this week. And don't forget to bookmark True-Blood.net and keep yourselves up to date on all the news and the spoilers, casting calls, if there's any left. Definitely photos, other projects. Pretty soon we're going to start hearing more and more about other projects that the cast is going to start taking up, since they're going to be finishing up pretty soon. So you also follow us on Twitter at True-Blood.net and find us on Facebook as well. Convenient links are posted in the sidebar on our main page, and we'd like to thank you for watching.
We also want to thank Minda for editing our podcast. You can subscribe to True Blood Radio on iTunes at the link now showing on your screen. You can also listen to us on Stitcher. It's a free app that allows you to listen to podcasts without downloading them and using up your phone or iPod memory. You can find us at Stitcher.com/TrueBloodRadio. And, of course, don't forget send in your questions or comments, including your fashion questions for Season 5, to webmaster@True-Blood.net. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you next week, Trubies.